the good days, here's to the sorrows. This is a mistake, I know about tomorrow. I don't wanna fight no more, cause I don't feel the need no more, no. Just wanna make it stop. Maybe it's something in the water, or maybe we just hit the end of the road. Right now it doesn't even matter, it's too late not to let it go. And that's why I wish you the best and say goodbye. You start to get dressed and then we cry, cause we both know it's gonna hurt, but not as much as this does. We had a good run, don't say we didn't. I was your first love, and you were my first one. Cheers to all the memories, the venom and the remedies, yeah. Promise I won't forget, yeah. Maybe it's something in the water, or maybe we just hit the end of the road. Right now it doesn't even matter, it's too late not to let it go. And that's why I wish you the best and say goodbye. You start to get dressed and then we cry, cause we both know it's gonna hurt, but not as much as this does. So baby, bye. It's for the best and you know why. You gotta leave me here tonight, before we make this even worse. It's gonna hurt even more than this does. We gave it all we had, it's time to say bye, baby, bye. I'll be, you'll be, yeah, we'll be fine. So let's call it a night, and that's why I wish you the best and say goodbye. You start to get dressed and then we cry, cause we both know it's gonna hurt, but not as much as this does. So baby, bye. It's for the best and you know why. You gotta leave me here right now, before we make this even worse. It's gonna hurt even more than this does.
Hello. Hey, let me know if you can hear me. There we go. Why isn't it? There we go. Full screen. Let me know if you can hear me. Also, I want to shout out to Alyssa Van Leeuwen, who's a new member. Thank you. Tell me if you can hear this.
He says, we're not an MLM. I'm like, oh, yes, we are.
What about this?
We are an MLM business.
Let me know if y'all can hear those, because I might use those as well for new member stuff. Tanya, I know you've been a member before, but I'm glad that you're still here and back. I appreciate it. Oh, that's okay, Tanya, that you realized it wasn't active. That's no big deal. I'm glad that you're still here. Hello, everybody. I can hear you now. Okay. I can barely hear it. Okay. See, that's what I'm worried about. I think I'm going to have to turn it up. But it's from a live like almost a year ago. I'm a bit sluggish today. I had a long week at work and I'm just getting back to like days, I guess, because I work overnight. So I'm trying to stay awake. But I still slept till 2. But I went to sleep at 5. So since I have several days off, I need to try to get back to day shift. Or day shift. I call it shift because that's what I go by for work. But 2 days. You look fab for being tired. Thanks. I did my makeup on purpose because I felt tired. And sometimes when you do your makeup, you feel a little better. JulieJo, how do I do the membership? LOL, I just figured out Aaron's, but I can't find how to do yours. I'm not tech savvy either. So there should be like a join button. I'm so bad at helping out with the membership stuff because I'm like members like Aaron's and I don't know who else. I think just like Aaron. Tanya said, you seem a little down. If you want, you can do this another day. No. I'm good. I'm just sleepy. I'm excited because I've wanted to do this live for several weeks now. And I finally found some time that I can, because when I work, I work like a split shift. So I'll work 5 12-hour shifts, and I can't do anything. I can't even really film. That's why this is my second video for the week, because I got tired and I got behind. So I can't even really film during those days. I sleep, wake up, go to work, come back, sleep, wake up, go to work, and I like it. It's no big deal, but I'm just getting off, the overnights. You really sound like someone that's been working nights. Well, you're not wrong. that I do. And I like it. I like working overnights. I love my split shift stuff too, because I really only work 2 weeks out of the month, even though those 2 weeks are like, double what other people work. But I like it. It's fine. I love my job. I'm on Apple. Okay. Thank you, Tanya, for helping her. I appreciate it. Hey, Karina. Hi. Hey, hello, JulieJo. Hello. So today, what we're going to do, there's a couple things that we could do. I want y'all to choose. Let me know what you're thinking. So we can either watch the videos first and then read about the lawsuits, or we can read about the lawsuits and then watch the videos first. So I think what I'm going to do is put up a poll. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to wait for you in the comments, because that'll be quicker. Unless it's like really, really close and I can't really decipher, then, I used to work 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. 4 days a week. It takes a lot of you. Yes. Oh, thank you, Charlene, for commenting in the Discord. I appreciate that so much. Videos first. Okay, I see videos first. I love my job. I love my job. If you get it, you're my people. Oh, yeah. So the videos are Jay Trailer, Tony Vinchoik's partner, going over Monat stuff. And then the stuff we're going to look over is from behind MLM, and they're going over the lawsuits. Videos first. Okay. Some background info. I think both of these videos, or at least one of them, is before the lawsuit came public, so I don't know. It's pretty obvious that videos first is winning, so I'm down for that. We'll do that. And I'll go by order. So Jay Trelor, I don't know how to say, Jay, Tony's partner, this is called Commission Transparency. That's what he named this one, so we'll do that. Oh, Tanya, 15 months. Much love and lots of good naps. TJJ, thank you. I have to get up at 4 a.m. tomorrow because I love my friends. I have friends. Love them. I am going to go watch her run a marathon in Duluth, Minnesota. So I gotta take a Z-Quil at like 9 so I can get like 5 or 6 hours of sleep, hopefully. Because if not, then I'll stay up too late. Okay, but it's first. Okay, the lawsuit was filed about a week ago. Yep. Yeah, and Jay's, so this first video from Jay is 2 weeks ago, and this next one's 6 days ago. So it was probably posted in tandem with the lawsuit, is my guess. But anyway, we will watch the Commission Transparency first, which I think is going to be very interesting. I think he's going over Commission with Monat and what him and Tony experienced. So it's like an expose in of itself. Avery, hey, I'm glad that you're here. Hey, Caitlin. Hey. So we'll start with that one because that's going to be interesting. That's before lawsuit and everything. I just noticed the new sign. Geez, I've missed a lot of lives. Yes, so someone was so sweet and made this for me. Hey, hello, I'm JulieJo. They made that by hand. It's gorgeous. I love it. I also am thinking, y'all remember the lights I used to have? I'm thinking of like putting them all along here and having the back up, but I'm trying to get it how I want it first and then figure out the light situation. And I think I'm getting there. So that's why I haven't put them up yet. All right, let's go ahead and watch. and see. Oh, they had to redo it because the first filing was rejected by the court. It's not a very professional complaint, LL. I love that for them. Good for them. All right, we're gonna watch Jay's first video.
Happy Tuesday. Seen everybody a lot over the past week or two. I don't usually do this many lives so quick, but there's been a lot of things going on again, and I wanted to reach out and talk to everybody. So as a lot of you know, Monat rolled out their new pool yesterday.
Cool.
And I've been inundated with questions about what it is, how does it work. I don't really necessarily think anybody understands it completely so far yet. So I thought that this was a good time to talk about it. Now, first and foremost, I'm obviously not an expert at Monat's commissions. I was just there for 10 years and I sort of know what I know. So I'm not representing anything.
Could you imagine? Okay, because something that Tony says a lot is like she helped build Monat, like she helped create Monat, essentially is what she pushes at. And that since she's been there, it's because of her that Monat has, gotten bigger, whatever. She said that in recent videos that we watched. And it's funny because he's like, I've been there for 10 years and I don't know much. And I'm like, if I'm at my job for 10 years, I better know a butt ton about it. I better know a shit ton. Like, I better know how the commission stuff runs. That's so weird for you to be at a quote unquote job or be a part of something like that for 10 years and not know how it's supposed to work. That's a red flag for both Monat and for him. Like, you can't just blame that all on Monat. That's ridiculous.
Say as 100% fact or anything like that. Obviously, the best source of information is the company, the CEO, one of the vice presidents, the commissions department, or whoever else is there to talk about it. So this is just my opinion based on my education, what I know, and what I've gleaned over the past, like I said, 10 years. So first and foremost, the visionary pool is not profit sharing. There's no profit involved with it. And technically, it's not a founder's pool. It's a commission pool, which honestly is fantastic.
Is it?
You should have more pools for more people to qualify. In and of itself, it's a great idea. And this pool is based on 1% of commissionable volume. It's not based on total volume. It's not based on profit. You don't own a part of the company. It's nothing like that. It is 1% of commissionable volume gets put into a pool for all the people that qualify for it. Now, that sounds like a lot of money to some people. It sounds like a little bit of money to some people. So I would just challenge anybody that's watching me right now to know, what is 1% of commissionable volume? What is Monat's commissionable volume every month? Anybody know? Bueller?
No.
Bueller?
Do you?
I don't know. I have no idea. I do know.
Which is so weird, right? Shouldn't you know? You've been there for 10 years.
What the volume was running through our organization. And we had about 98% of the company under us. So we would see 98% of the total volume every month when we would look in the back office. At least I think that's what I was seeing. I have absolutely no idea. That's just what I was being presented with. So back in 2020, that volume was up around $70 million a month. A lot of money. Recently, over the past year or so, that monthly volume has been around 24 million a month. So let's just say 25 million in volume a month. Well, that's not what the commissionable volume is. The commissionable volume takes out all the sales. right? All the flash sales and all the things that have zero CV, no one makes commission on. And we had always thought and / been told in various forms that in general, 35% of the volume was not commissionable. Those were flash sales, those were zero CD sales, et cetera, et cetera. So I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget, so bear with me for a second. So if you have $25 million a month going through in volume and you deduct 30% of that, that gives you $7.5 million that you're taking out that no one's making commissions on. So if you multiply that 17.5 times 3, because there's 3 quarters, that's what the pool would be based on, that gives you a pool value of $52,500,000. But you're only taking 1% of that for the actual pool that you're going to be paying people out of, right? So that is obviously 1% of that
Yeah, pen.
is $525,000. Everybody follow the math on that? So,
Oh no, is he telling us that an MLM is greedy? That an MLM doesn't like to share their money? Who would have thought? MLM
if you
math.
have
Yeah, Charlene.
a
Yeah.
pool that the value of it to the field is $525,000, well, if you have 1,000 people in the pool, that's $525 per person in that pool based on the numbers that I just worked out. If you've got 3,500 people in the pool, that's $150 a person. So again, those numbers are just based on what we were familiar with, what I was familiar with, not making any financial claims one way or another if I'm right. I think I'm more right than wrong, but highlights of all this. In general, Monat's volume per month has been around $23, $24 million. Let's round that up, $25 million a month. Deduct the 30% for the things that aren't paid. That's where I got that 17.5. You multiply that by 3. And you all saw where I went with all that. That's very easy to trace all those numbers. Now, I will say, when we were originally put into the Founders Pool, back when the Founders Pool started, those shares at one time were worth the Founders share, not the emerging founders, but the original Founders shares. Their high was, I believe, close to 18,000 a share. And then we also did get in the emerging founders share pool, and all 6 of those shares, and 3 founder shares, 3 emerging founder shares, the most recent payout of those.
Anyone else listen to Audible books and put it on like 1.5 or 1.7 or even 2.0? Jay is at 1.0 right now, and it is it is hard for me to listen and not want to take a little nappy nap. You know what I'm saying? Anyone else an Audible listener? I read books. I read like physical books. I read Kindle, and I listen to Audible. And I'm just saying, he's at 1.0 right now on the Audible listen speed, and it is slow. I'm struggling.
Combined for all of them was about 17,000
Also math.
combined for all of that. So again, the original founders were 18,000 a piece. Now the total value combined of all the shares that we had was around like what one share used to be worth.
Okay.
I'm just saying that because none of this has ever had any sort of financial transparency. We never know what the actual financial accounting of the company was for those payouts. We never knew. We never knew what
It's not long
the
enough.
actual value of one share of the founders was based on. Never. And just like trying to figure out commissions. No one really knows what they're getting paid still. No.
And I do not feel bad for you, Jay. You were there for 10 years and you did not know. And now you're like, how did we not know? Well, Jay, I can't feel bad for you. You were there for 10 years. Your partner, wife, I don't know if him and Tony are married. Your partner was the first consultant. It's just mind-blowing, mind-boggling, all the mind things. He's like acting like a victim. I'm like, but you're not.
No
Thank
one
you.
knows
Hello.
what their actual commission check is based on. They don't break down the commission structure. Mentioned it on a call before that kind of embarrassed after 10 years, we still didn't know how we were getting paid.
Yeah.
Fantastic paycheck. It was great. Loved it, but didn't really know what the breakdown was. So, and again, I think it's great that they're
so many compliments on my makeup. Thank you. That is very sweet. I went a little heavy on the eyeliner, but you know what? I guess it's one of those nights.
paying a pool. I think anytime anybody gets a chance to make more money, it's fantastic.
Yeah, okay.
But there isn't a single person outside of the people that run the company that knows how much that pool is going to be. I just gave you my best guess based on what they're making right now. I could be off. Like I said, it's just based on what I know, my experience, my education, what I've been with, making no financial.
William Ho said, so he's saying he knows nothing in the most long-winded way possible. That is definitely the vibe that I'm getting. I don't know about y'all, but I think William is onto something.
Claims whatsoever, but I think I'm pretty much in the ballpark there.
Okay.
Which actually kind of saddens me. Because you see all these people getting so excited about this new pool. Oh my God, it's a new founders pool. Oh my God, it's profit sharing. And it's neither one of those. It's a commission pool. It's 1% of the commissions that everyone's getting paid on. That's what it is. And if everybody's making more money, then they're gonna make more money in the pool, right? But those ratios are still gonna stay about the same depending on, how many people are in the pool. You're not looking at something that's going to make anybody much more than a few $100 a share. And that's fantastic. That's wonderful. But everyone that's fallen off the deep end and jumping in with the lemurs by talking about how amazing this is, they're just wrong. It's just simply wrong. And it has just made me.
You know what bothers me? Is someone like Jay, who's in an MLM and now in another, who was an Monat and now is an MRA, blah, which I think is worse than Monat, can go, that's just simply wrong, and show no data to back him up. But when I go, that's simply wrong, and I show data, they're like, wrong, you're bullying, you're a mean girl, you're negative. So is Jay also a mean girl? Is Jay also bullying and negative? What do you think?
Question everything that we ever went through. And like we've done a lot of that over the past few weeks. And having this pool come out now and watching everyone go gaga over it, this makes me feel sorry for all of them, because a lot of them are my friends. A lot of my director friends probably don't know how to position this, don't know how to talk to their teams about it. They don't know what they're talking about because they really haven't been taught that well. And it makes me grateful for the new opportunity that Tony and I have where it's 100% transparent. I know what all the bonuses are.
Amare? 100% transparent? Yeah, uh-huh.
And I see how they're broken down in the back office. Excuse me. I just know. I go into the back office, I see what each line value is and what it adds up to, what the commissions were, what I was paid on, and everything else, and it's fantastic.
Okay.
And there were 5 or 6 other companies that we were looking at, and it was all the same thing. They're all transparent. And it just blows my mind that here we are 10 years later, and Monat.
An MLM transparent? Hold on. I gotta, don't make fun of me. Okay. An MLM transparent is very ironic because they're not. They're like the farthest from transparency. Jazz and Mets, thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Let's do a little member jam real quick. Ready for some Powerpuff Girls?
Powerpuff Girls were born! Blossom, Bubbles, Buttercup have dedicated their lives to fighting
Thank you so much, Jazz. I really appreciate you becoming a member. Did I see DC? I did. Hey, DC. I was like, I swear I saw her profile picture. Hey, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it.
Monat chooses to not be transparent with how they're paying everybody, how these pools are calculated, how it all works. And it just makes me sad because, my friends and a lot of you on the call shouldn't be treated like that. And it's just not fair because a lot of people are doing a lot of work. And like I said, back in 2020, the company was making, actually, I think I'm low. I don't think it was 70. I think it was up closer to 73 or $74 million a month. And then you go from that to less than 4 years later, and they're making $25 million a month.
But he's acting so surprised. But like, haven't we all been saying that? Haven't people who are anti-MLM and make videos like Aaron, Chelsea, DC, all these people, including myself, there's several people who talk about money and talk about the money. Haven't we been doing that for a long time? There's someone called, oh shoot, I know her, but the MLM Boss Babe on Instagram, and they're great. They're so funny. I'm linking their profile. This is them, and they talk about money and show they're transparent about the money. They pretty much just show how fake they are and the hypocrisy that is money and the people that are a part of it. Where was I going with that? Me love a money shit show, right? Same. But he's saying this stuff, and it's like, yeah, we know. We've all been saying that, and we show things too. It's just so wild.
So much of it just does not add up. So much of it just isn't clear. So much of it you just can't do the math on. Everyone trying to figure out their commissions over the past couple of years just wasn't able to figure it out. And so, like I said, that makes me sad, but it also makes me grateful for our friends. And I see a few people that are on the call that have gone to Alaveda and some other companies, and the company that we're with. I'm grateful that so many of the people that I know and love and my friends have found good landing places that are transparent and ethical and have everyone's best interest at heart. Great.
Ethical? Places that are transparent and ethical? Not an MLM.
Great products, great business model, great everything. And it's a breath of fresh air. And
Hey, DTP slide.
I said it before, say it again. There was a lot of places we could have gone. There was a lot of places that wanted us. There was a lot of places that offered us stipends and things and stuff. It just did.
Toot toot. That's him tooting his and Tony's horn.
It felt gross to do that. We wanted to go someplace that felt clean, that felt healthy, that felt like it was going to treat our friends like family.
Oh yeah, thank you, Charlene.
And a lot of you that are on this call have joined us. A lot of you on this call have left Monat and are with other companies. And I applaud all of you. There's no bigger leap of faith that you can ever take in life than leaping for yourself, right? That's the biggest leap of faith you can ever take. God will always have you, but jumping off and starting on your own is pretty tough. So I commend you all. And thanks for listening to me. Kind of rambled there for a minute, but I just really thought it was important because so many people have reached out to talk about how this all works with, the new visionary pool. And I guess they were looking to me because, the last few reels, we've been talking a lot about this, and lives, we've been talking a lot about this. So that was important. I thought everybody deserves to know what I think I know. So if you're looking for something else to do, reach out to Tony, reach out to me. We'll explain what we're doing. There's other people on this call that are doing other things. And like I said, I commend them for doing that. And I just want everyone to be able to work their business and get paid for it and know what they're going to get. There's no reason why, just because we're doing network marketing, we shouldn't know what we're going to be getting paid. My 9 to 5, I knew what I was getting paid, right? So thank you all again for supporting Tony and I. Thank you all for supporting the other people that have left Monat. And thank you for supporting a lot of my director friends that are still with the company that really don't know what to do right now. They really feel stuck. And so, like I said, if you need a landing spot, reach out to Tony or I. And thank you so much for taking time out of your Tuesday night. Y'all mean the world to me, and take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, that was that. Hold on. I'm just trying to rename Monat reply. Okay, so I think we're going to take a little pause here and before we move on to the next video and read some of. Hold on. I need to remove that. We're going to read about Stuart McMillan and his lawsuit, and then Monat's reply to it. Then we're going to watch the video, another video of Jay, and then read Tony's lawsuit, okay? That's what I think we should do. I have an issue with how this is coming. Why is this happening? Why did it happen backwards? I don't understand. Hold on. Good thing is I'm going to remove that now. Let's read Stu's lawsuit, shall we? Monat, a mafia family and unprincipled syndicate. Exec claims. I don't know how to say that word. Dear Lord, help me. What am I doing? So, this is from Behind MLM, and if you can monetarily support someone, I think that it should be Behind MLM because they put in a lot of effort and have excellent articles and whatnot. So they do need help. So if you can monetarily support them, go for it. If not, that's fine. We'll just spread the word. They're great. So it says former president Stuart McMillan has sued Monat and founder and CEO Louis and Rainer Urdaneta. McMillan claims he owed millions pursuant to a signed profit-sharing agreement. McMillan, right? Okay. Joined Monat in 2014. At the time, McMillan was fresh off his stint as interim CEO at the notorious Telex-free Ponzi scheme. I did do video about that, by the way. Nonetheless, McMillan claims he built Monat from nothing to a skincare and hair product company generating hundreds of millions of dollars in revenues, with hundreds of employees, millions of customers, and market partners numbering in the hundreds and thousands worldwide. Syndicate. Thank you so much, Hillary. Thank you. Oh, Charlene, thank you so much for sharing Behind MLM. You're on a roll. I appreciate it. And then they continue. McMillan claims he signed on as Monat's president after the Urdanetas promised. This is what they promised him, apparently. That 3 of them would work to maximize Monat's profits, and McMillan would be paid a 3% profit share while he worked for Monat and for a certain amount of time thereafter. So in addition to being president Monat, McMillan was also on its board of directors. A position he represents was symbolic. First, wait. I don't know if that's the right order. And I'm doing this how I'm supposed to be doing, but I just gotta make sure that it's not messed around. Okay. Yeah, I know that. Okay, see, that's not right. Why is this happening to me? I'm just going to read it from the website because I'm not going to stress myself out. Okay. We're just going to read it from the website, my pals. And I'll go here. Okay. I'm zooming up. Okay. McMillan claims problems with. Okay, here we go. Okay. In addition to being president of Monat, McMillan was also on its board of directors. The position he represents was symbolical. Monat's board of directors only met 3 times while McMillan was a director of Monat. It did not hold annual meetings except for a brief period of time as insisted by McMillan and their chief legal officer. It did not record meeting minutes. There was only a secretary 3 of the 9 years. McMillan was a director of Monat. And McMillan was not even permitted voting rights. McMillan claims problems with the Urdanettas began in 2019. L&R Urdaneta threatened to terminate McMillan if he did not agree to a non-compete agreement and non-solicit agreement. McMillan claims the Urdanettas felt threatened by Monat's employees and independent contractor market partners' loyalty and affection towards McMillan. Well, yeah, no, that makes sense because he is part of the cult. So McMillan agrees to Urdaneta's demands and signed a new agreement with the Urdanettas in October 2019. The profit-sharing agreement incorporated certain previous understandings, added a non-compete and non-solicit, and added a few extra terms. Defendant's attorney drafted the profit-sharing agreement. L&R Urdaneta promised to maximize Monat's profits was inherent and in... Hold on. Promised to maximize Monat's profits was inherent and in line with their fiduciary duties to Monat. Fast forward to June 2023, McMillan resigned from his position as Monat's president. Between the date of his resignation from Monat in June 2023 and the initial post-employment payment deadline of March 2024, L&R Urdaneta demanded that McMillan have no contact with approximately 3,000 people associated with Monat in order to receive the post-employment payments owned pursuant to the profit-sharing agreements. That's a lot of P's. McMillan claims that this demand has no basis in law or contract. Yeah, it probably doesn't. The demand was a pretext to justify not paying McMillan. That's interesting. It's not surprising. According to the extreme positions of L&R Urdaneta, Monat could only be successful after McMillan's departure if Monat's employees and independent contractor market partners had zero contact with McMillan. And for that to occur, according to L&R Urdaneta, McMillan essentially had to disappear from his previous business circles. Damn. Notably, L&R Urdaneta even demanded that McMillan distance himself from members of McMillan's friends and family. And now, again, this is Stu writing it, so I don't know, but also the Urdanettas are wild, so that could be true. McMillan claims he rejected this baseless and outrageous no-contact demand. Pursuant to his signed agreement, McMillan expected payment of the higher of 3% of Monat's profits each year through 2031, or a $1 million floor payment per year if Monat was not profitable in any given year. Wow. I hate them all. McMillan claims, again, pursuant to his signed agreement, his first payment of $500,000, first post-employment payment of $500,000 was due on or before March 31st, 2024. He claims he was not paid. He had not been paid. In justifying not paying McMillan, the Urdanettas claim McMillan has lost all profit sharing with L&R Urdaneta or Monat. McMillan states he's owed between $8 and $16 million, and the Urdanettas are still binding him to non-compete and non-solicit clauses of his profit sharing agreement. Central to McMillan's complaint is the Urdanettas screwing him over financially. I'm going to check in with y'all. I'm just going to, because I'm on this website, so I can't really see. No document of proof, no case. Who knows? Even if you hang out on the website and read some articles, it helps with ad revenue. Yes, we like that too. Okay. I'm going to continue. Central to McMillan's complaint in the Urdaneta screwing him over financially. Okay, read that. Examples of this include shutting down McMillan's attempt to make Monat's manufacturing more competitive. Monat's products are manufactured by B&R Products, a company owned by the Urdanettas. The Urdanettas generating contrived and improper expenses through employment of Urdanettas insiders, family members, and friends in no-show, non-existent jobs, sometimes paying them under the table. Well, that's not surprising at all. Not even a little bit. The Urdanettas maxing out Monat's credit cards on their personal luxury lifestyles, including private airplanes, expensive dinners, and luxurious travel and accommodations, including a $50,000 room service bill in Dubai, for example. That's not surprising either. That's one of the Urdanettas. One of the L or R, I think is the L. but I don't really know. It's the R, sorry. So I guess this is kind of showing Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Stuart McMillan claims that Erdonetta's maxed out Monat's credit cards to, among other things, fund expensive trips to Dubai. The Erdonetta's is paying for personal and household expenses from Monat's bank accounts. The Erdonetta's is paying for family members and friends who attend company incentive trips. These are supposed to be incentive rewards Monat's distributors qualify for. And the Erdonetta's using Monat funds to pay off their personal credit cards for non-business expenses, $150,000 a month is cited. Not surprising. I'm sure that is true. Of course, it's Stu saying it, but like, if it came out as true, I would not be surprised. Finally, L&R Erdenetta severely diluted Monat's meager profits in select years and refused to retain revenues to invest in Monat to generate reasonable profits. Members of the Erdenetta family, other than L&R Erdenetta, acted like they were owners and managers of Monat. Erdenetta family members, other than L&R Erdenetta, even disciplined and fired some Monat warehouse employees. Well, that's effed up. That's wild. Erdenetta family members acted as though Monat's property was their own personal property. Not surprising. All up, McMillan claims the Erdenettas appropriated approximately $100 million since Monat's inception. Wow. McMillan claims he objected to all of this conduct and in response to Erdenettas created a hostile work environment. And you know what? I don't believe that. I don't believe McMillan objected to it. Okay, let's just be real. I just don't think he did. Continuing, any complaints from employees or independent contractor market partners were met with skepticism, criticism, and retaliation. Because L&R Erdenetta made up 2/3 of Monat board of directors, they did whatever they wanted without consulting McMillan. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, probably. This in turn led to McMillan, not the Erdenettas, fostering relationships with Monat's distributors and employees. That also makes sense. While L&R Erdenetta were treating Monat like a mafia family behind the scenes, McMillan was developing relationships with Monat's independent contractor, market partners, and employees. Okay, let's not act like he was some like savior or friend to everyone. He easily was just using them for this example. Like now a lot of people support Stu. Why? Well, because he was kind of a cult leader, in my opinion. And I've made videos talking about Stuart McMillan and how he is definitely a cult leader in Monat, or was, in my opinion. McMillan ran Monat's motivational conferences and incentive trips to better the company. McMillan, being the face of Monat, threatened L&R Erdenetta and eventually resulted in tension between them. Well, I mean, L&R let it happen. One interesting tidbit in McMillan's complaint is a timeline from Monat's best every year in 2022, significant losses from 2022. Monat had its best year ever in 2020 with revenues exceeding $800 million and profits exceeding $35 million. When the economy took a downturn in 2022, Monat suffered significant losses. L&R Erdenetta insisted on increasing revenues at any expense, including cutting commissions to Monat's independent contractor market partners and delaying payments to suppliers. As a result, morale at Monat plummeted. Well, that's not surprising. We know this. Oddly enough, when it came time to calculate McMillan's profit sharing amount, the Erdenettas excluded 2020 because it did not count as a year. Even the person who wrote this says, yeah, I don't know what that means either. Because obviously it did count as a year, but it's so high that they didn't want to like add it and calculate the profit sharing amount because it was so much compared to that's funny. Framed as disagreeing with the Erdenettas' business tragedy and ethics, this is purportedly the reason McMillan resigned in 2023. That's to be proven. McMillan resigned as the president of Monat on July 31st, 2023. McMillan retired. He did not start working for another company and did not start a company himself. Well, those are probably all good things because he should not be running companies. McMillan maintained his board of directors position, but despite disagreeing with Erdenettas' claims, he never spoke poorly of them. Seeking payment, McMillan engaged legal counsel in early 2024. On January 22nd, 2024, McMillan, through counsel, requested, among other things, a copy of Monat's books and records for the year 2020 to conduct an audit regarding Monat's profits. That is a good request. Defendants never provided McMillan with the requested books and records of the year 2020. Well, of course not. No duh. After this request was made was when the Erdenettas trotted out the no contact with anyone in Monat. Yeah, okay. Defendants claim that Monat would pay McMillan only his compensation under the profit-sharing agreement if he agreed not to have any contact whatsoever with approximately 3,000 people affiliated with Monat, agreed to block numerous people associated with Monat on social media, and agreed not to host or speak at any events or conferences on any nature, including religious events, if Monat-associated persons would participate or be in attendance. McMillan claims his daughter was fired as a Monat employee after the Urdanettas caught wind of December 2023 Christmas Zoom during which no business was discussed. Interestingly, McMillan claims the Urdanettas are adamant he have no contact with Monat because, according to our Urdaneta, Monat's products are irrelevant, and for Monat to succeed, Monat's employees and independent contract market partners must completely forget about their previous leader, McMillan, in order to be loyal and dedicated to Monat's new leader, our Urdaneta. Our Urdaneta describes Monat to be more like a cult than a business. To be clear, that's not what McMillan thinks. It's what CEO Rainer Urdaneta has purportedly stated. Ew, look, there he is. Not ew isn't ugly, but ew isn't ew. I don't like him. According to our Urdaneta, McMillan hosting a religious event at the church focused on faith, work-life balance, and marriage would be a threat to Monat because it may disrupt worship of Monat and its new leaders. Huh? According to our Urdaneta, McMillan hosting a religious event at a church focused on faith, work-life balance, and marriage would be a threat to Monat because it may disrupt worship of Monat and its new leaders. Huh? According to Stuart McMillan, Monat CEO Rainer Urdaneta wants to be worshipped. Well, that's not surprising at all. Our Urdaneta pointed to a specific event hosted by McMillan on April 20th, 2024 at Grace Family Church in Clearwater, Florida, called the Lighthouse Collective Live. I have seen those, by the way. As a primary reason why Monat refused to pay McMillan in compliance with the profit-sharing agreement. That is so weird. He spoke at this Lighthouse Collective, and that's why they're not paying him. That is so wild. McMillan, I mean, don't pay him. I don't care. I'd prefer you not to, but that's still wild. Like that's the reason they're not. McMillan invited R and L Urdaneta to attend and participate in the Lighthouse Collective event. Both declined. Okay. So weird. Instead of just not attending the event, McMillan claims Rainer Urdaneta sabotaged it. Sabotaged it. Oh my gosh. The drama. I'm going to check in. The drama. How's everybody doing? Worship of Monat. What the heck? Listen, when I tell you that it's a cult, it is. And I've covered Monat and religion in videos where I go in depth as to why I think it is a cult. And part of it, a big part of it, probably the largest part, is Stuart McMillan leading it. He owns Lighthouse Collective. Yes, that's something that he started this year. And I've seen him talk about it on his Instagram and go live. Okay, I just wanted to check in. 2020 was not 1 year. Hold on, sorry. DC has been saying stuff that I want to read. Which means they weren't profitable. I just put that together. Holy shit. Yeah. No, that's, yeah. They've been struggling since after 2020. It's just been getting worse and worse for them. So, okay. Let's keep going. We're almost done with this one. First, our Urdaneta told the DJ who was set to perform at the Lighthouse Collective event that he could not perform because McMillan was violating the profit-sharing agreement, and that if he did, he would never perform at another Monat event again. Well, hot damn. As a result, the DJ canceled his performance at the Lighthouse Collective event. Second, our Urdaneta told the production company assigned to the Lighthouse Collective event, Catapult Events, that it could not proceed because McMillan was violating the profit-sharing agreement, and that if it did, Monat would never work with Catapult Events in the future. As a result, Catapult Events pulled out of the Lighthouse Collective event. Wow. That is really shitty. McMillan states, despite Rainer's efforts that the Lighthouse Collective event went ahead on April 20th, the event had nothing to do with Monat or its business. That is kind of wild that it didn't. Okay. It might have had something to, they might have had something to do. Okay. Like, I'm sure he invited Monat people. I'm sure there was a crossover, but still, it wasn't about Monat. It wasn't about Monat. And yet the Urdanetas are still like, don't. The Urdanetas just wanted McMillan to fly off the face of the earth. And the idea of anyone, when it comes to anyone focused on Monat or anyone that works with them, like, you're done. Get out. Don't talk to them. Just like cut them all off, which is wild. That is not a thing that should be happening. Okay, Macmillan's complaint against Monat and the Urdinettes bring forth 11 causes of action, including breach of contract, breach of duty of good faith and fair dealing, constructive fraud, that's not surprising, fraud in the inducement, defamation, and breach of fiduciary duties. That's none of that's surprising. Macmillan also seeks declaratory judgment pertaining to him being owed a share of the profits of Monat and in what amount. Macmillan's lawsuit was filed on April 24th in Miami-Dade County in Florida. Stay tuned for updates as we continue to track the case. Okay, so that was what Stewart is suing them for, essentially. So that's what Stewart's suing them for. Now what I want to do is I want to look at Monat, which is like the Urdinettas, their countersuit. So they are countersuing Stewart. Charlene, which by the way, I forgot to tell you, Charlene, but I love your picture. It's so cute. Charlene said, if Stewart can prove these allegations true, the Urdinettas certainly sound like a mafioso family. Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. 100%. If this is true, if even a little bit of it is true, like if even half of it's true, they definitely are sounding yikes, you know? I mean, they're yikes anyway, but still. Thank you, Meg, for saying my eyeliner's lovely. That's so nice. Okay, so now I want to look at the countersuit for Monat, which is what we're going to do. I am going to share my screen. Okay. Let me take a look. How are we looking? I think I should go down here again. There we go. Okay. So Monat's Urdinettas accuse Macmillan of gross mismanagement. So this was about a month after Stewart filed his lawsuit, and they countersued him about it. So this is May 25th is when this was posted, which is probably the same day this came out, because the countersuit came out, because I think Oz is who runs this. I don't know. I think Charlene mentioned that. The person who runs this website behind MLM, you can see it up here, is always on their game, always ready to go. So Monat's Lewis and Rainer Urdinetta have filed a countersuit against former President Stuart McMillan. The Urdinettas countersuit in response to Macmillan alleging the Urdinettas run a Monat as a mafia family and unprincipled syndicate, accuse Macmillan of gross mismanagement. Which, can I just, I think both of these are true. I think that, yeah, they're probably a mafia family and whatever, and all of the fraud and all the stuff. But Macmillan also is probably fraudulent and grossly mismanaged the company. I think both is true. Absolutely. So the Urdinettas claim Macmillan cost Monat millions of dollars in business losses. In his lawsuit, Macmillan claims he resigned as Monat's president in June 2023. The Urdinettas claim that Macmillan was terminated, among other things, over concerns about. First off, he wasn't terminated. Now they might have said something like, you need to either resign or we're going to terminate you. But like, he wasn't terminated. Okay? That seems pretty obvious that he resigned, but he could have resigned because they told him to. Okay, so the reason they terminated him apparently are Macmillan's repeated display of poor judgment, such as being under the influence at work events and disclosing Monat's confidential and proprietary information while inebriated. Okay, but here's what I have to ask. What are work events when it comes to MLM? Are we talking like the trips that you took? You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, Stewart's prior experience was running a Ponzi scheme. So yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, if you're talking about the trips that you took and he got drunk by the pool, what do you want me to say? Me too? Because I would too. Like, okay. But if he is just disclosing confidential and proprietary information while inebriated, or in general, that's probably not great. But who knows what's real? After signing on as Monat's president in 2014, the Urdinettas claim Macmillan became a highly paid employee, receiving millions of dollars of compensation in a few short years. Okay, yeah, that's not surprising. Like pot meat kettle, like both of you do that. Macmillan and the Urdinettas both claim problems between them began in 2019. However, each side tells a different story. Macmillan claims he was threatened with termination if he did not agree to a non-compete agreement and non-solicit agreement. The new agreement allegedly came about because the Urdanettas felt threatened by Monat's employees and independent contract market partners' loyalty and affection towards Monat. Here's the Urdanettas version. In 2019, Macmillan began expressing his desire to retire in the near future and asked the Urdanettas to modify the profit-sharing provisions of his employment agreement to guarantee a minimum amount that he might receive after he retired. Also, I want to say that a lot of this could have easily been proven right or wrong if they had kept minutes during their meetings, 2, had meetings, because they only had 3 in the several years, like board meetings, they only had like 3 in the several years that they were together, or if they like had emails talking about this, but I'm sure all this was off the books, which is why that you always need proof of stuff. Hello, if you work with other people, you need proof. Keep the emails, people. So Urdanettas recognized that Macmillan was nearing retirement age, and based on its family-centric culture, the Urdanettas wanted to accommodate Macmillan's request to give him a soft landing into retirement. In exchange, however, sorry, I have a yawn that's slapping me in the face. Excuse me. In exchange, however, Monat wanted assurances that when Macmillan retired, he would in fact leave the direct sales industry behind and find something else to keep him occupied. I just think it's so interesting. Like, you're trying to make sure that he left the direct sales industry after he was done with you, or y'all were done with him. I just don't get why. I mean, are you that egotistical? Like, it's us or no one? I don't know. I maybe that's not the right word, but I think you understand. Like, why are they trying? Like, it's his career. He should be able to do what he wants with it, unless he sold his soul to the Urdanettas, which I don't think that's in the contract. Could be wrong, though. After 5 years of working with Macmillan, the Urdanettas had learned that Macmillan was mesmerized by the allure of the limelight, celebrity status, recognition, and attention given by the thousands of beautiful women throughout the world, directly flowing from Macmillan's access to Monat's worldwide stage. First off, I don't think that's wrong. I'm sure that that's absolutely true. Second, kind of an asshole blow from them, but whatever. Third, pot meat kettle, because the Urdanettas are the exact same way. Okay? That is just such a funny way. I can't believe they put that in their lawsuit. But, you know, it is what it is. Ray Ray's a wimp. Oh, we're talking about Ray Ray? I love talking shit about Ray Ray. Anyway, well, I'll continue. But that's so funny that they're saying this. Anyway, the Urdanettas were sincerely concerned that Macmillan would not be content to truly retire, especially after Macmillan let slip the direct sales industry was all he knew. Okay, first, just because he said that was all he knew, who cares? That doesn't matter. Like, so? And that they were concerned that he would not be content to truly retire. This is all wild to me. So what does that mean? Who cares? Continuing, they did not want to agree to guarantee semi-annual payments equaling millions of dollars for Macmillan to retire to another direct sales opportunity. Then don't agree to it. If you already agreed to it and you then realize, oh, I don't want to do that, that's on you for being a dorkaroni. Okay? Hold on, you drink. As a result, the Urdanettas thought it only reasonable to ask Macmillan to agree to restrictive covenants, including non-competition, non-solicitation, and non-disparagement, in exchange for years of guaranteed post-termination payments. So you're going to pay me to not work anymore? All right, babe. Let's fucking go. That's fine with me. Continuing. Not surprisingly, Macmillan was more than willing to accept this unbelievably generous arrangement because it guaranteed that for every year he worked at Monat -1, he would receive a minimum yearly payment of $800,000. Okay. If the profit calculation exceeded $800,000, he would receive more, up to a shocking $2 million annually for finding a new hobby and hanging out with his grandkids. Dude, they are low-blowing him all over the place. Hannah, hey, I just saw you. I've been on the other page. But let me read that again, because I pretty much just said the same thing. If the profit calculation exceeded $800,000, he would receive more, up to a shocking $2 million annually for finding a new hobby and hanging out with his grandkids. They said, how low can I go? And where's the bat? So I'm going to, you know what I mean? Dorkaroni is my favorite new insult. Thank you, JulieJo. You're welcome. Rebecca, member for 17 months. Thanks, pal. I'm glad you're here. Oh, I love pet pictures. I mean, who doesn't want fame and admiration from all the beautiful ladies in the world? Oh, look, a doggy. Petty, right, Hannah? I agree. I'm dying at the generous remark. I know, they are so petty and we love it. I love it all, honestly. Like, keep going. This makes me happy to read all of this going on. That might sound, listen, I'm morally gray, okay? Give me a break. I've been reading too many books. The agreement was executed on October 19, 2019, after which the Urdanettas claimed they underestimated Macmillan's willingness to abandon his friends, toss out his scruples, the hell does that mean, and put his own self-interest above the people he purported to care about, including Monat's thousands of market partners. Ugh. The agreement was executed on October 19th. I'm going to read that again. After which the Urdanettas claimed they underestimated Macmillan's willingness to abandon his friends, toss out his scruples, and put his own self-interest above the people he purported to care about, including Monat's thousands of market partners. Oh. All right, here we go. Macmillan, who claims he's owed between $8 to $16 million, alleges the Urdanettas are behind Monat's financial demise over the past 4 years. Macmillan's claims are based on the Urdanettas. Macmillan's claims are based on the Urdanettas blocking his attempts to make Monat's manufacturing more competitive, paying off family and friends through a Monat slush fund, maxing out Monat's credit cards to fund luxurious styles. We all know we just read about this. Using Monat's business funds to personal and household expenses, using Monat funds to pay for family and friends to attend Monat distributive incentive trips, and using Monat business funds to pay off personal credit card debt. Yes, this is all true. We know that. Well, this is what we've been reading. Okay. The Urdanettas, however, placed Monat's financial demise at the feet of Macmillan. During the last years of Macmillan's tenure as president, Monat experienced 3 years of plummeting losses and sales declines. Macmillan's recklessness resulted in inventory control problems on a massive scale, widespread attrition, and botched rollout of Monat's EU market. His ineptitude caused the company to lose millions in connection with the costly IT project directly under supervision that imploded. In 2022 alone, Macmillan was responsible for millions in business losses to Monat's bottom line, directly attributed to Macmillan's inattention, lack of organization, poor communication, and interpersonal skills, caustic leadership style that led to toxic work environment, indecisiveness, narcissism, lack of accountability, unwillingness to change what was not working, poor time management, and unimpressive business acumen. Whatever that means. Don't make fun of me. So, they're pretty much like, he was a bad guy. We didn't like him. He didn't do what we said. This is, they're just really low blowing him. They're saying them, it's just very unprofessional, in my opinion, what they're saying, because how can you prove that someone's a narcissist, right? They're saying his narcissism, his lack of accountability, indecisiveness, unwillingness to change what was not working. How can you prove these things in the court of law? Does that make sense? Like, how this isn't really reading like a lawsuit. Exactly. How can you prove these things in the court of law? It just sounds petty and like a countersuit just to be an ass, not because there is actually a possible countersuit. This is like watching Mean Girl drama in high school. Thank you, William. I agree. Also, how does Macmillan, well, I guess he does. I don't know. I feel like the Urdanettas, if this is true, Macmillan cost them millions of dollars. I feel like the Urdanettas, like, that's their fault too. Does that make sense? Like, they're the leaders of CEO, whatever. Like, that's their fault too. It's not just Macmillan. Macmillan, however, refused to acknowledge that he had anything to do with Monat's problems. Many times, the Urdanettas had to step in to stop Macmillan from scuttling the ship. Interesting word. Notwithstanding these facts, the Urdanettas continued to trust that Macmillan was at least trying to act in the best interest of Monat. Fortunately, as they would later learn, that was not true. Oh my gosh, this is so dramatic. This brings us to he said, she said within Monat corporate. This one is a long one, so bear with me. This whole article is long, but this brings us, okay. When the company was not performing as expected, he passed the blame to the Urdanettas without their knowledge. For example, Macmillan frequently told market partners that the Urdanettas were responsible for out-of-control operational expenses and low profitability. Okay, first off, You have to show proof of that. You can't just say that. So if you have proof, show it. Is it true? Is it not? Who knows? Sadly, because of McMillan's visibility and access to Monat's market partners, many believed him. Oh, yeah, I mean, probably. McMillan's habit of passing blame for unwelcome news to the Urdanettas expanded to everything about which McMillan did not want to take responsibility, including employment decisions regarding layoff employees and terminating market partners. I think the truth lies somewhere in the middle, if I do say so myself, between McMillan and the Urdanettas, like somewhere in the middle of what they're saying. At times, McMillan exploited employees and market partners' faith, currying favor by saying that he was the only person at the company who ever prayed for them. Okay, they better be able to prove all this, because if not, this is just a lot of bullshit. On other occasions, McMillan attempted to ingratiate himself, I don't care what that says, himself to certain high-level market partners at the expense of the Urdanettas by telling them that he had saved them from being terminated, when in fact, no such action had ever been contemplated by anyone at the company. Interesting. Proof, please. McMillan used his numerous opportunities to closely associate with market partners to disparage the Urdanettas behind their backs. The Urdanettas did not pick up on McMillan's hostility and animosity towards them because, to their faces, he feigned friendship and loyalty. Now, I'm sure that McMillan did do some of these things. I will say that, because Stu's a wackadoodle. At the same time, however, McMillan convinced numerous terminated Monat employees and executives to make public statements critical of the Urdanettas and Monat under their auspices. You all don't make fun of me. That the Urdanettas had anything to do with their terminations. That's interesting, because if you're going to say that in a lawsuit, you better be able to prove it. Do I think that they're wrong? No, I'm sure McMillan did something to that effect, right? I'm sure it's something, but you have to be able to prove that shit. You can't just say that, because that's kind of a big deal. I mean, it's all a big deal, but that specifically. On the contrary, it was McMillan who was directly responsible for letting these people go. But McMillan saw it that each of these people were thoroughly convinced that the Urdanettas were to blame for their firing. Thoughts and prayers, everybody? Thoughts? To be fair, they're pretty yucky. Yeah. They are all pretty nasty. Isn't narcissism a psychological medical diagnosis? Yeah, it is. So it's like, how can you prove it unless a doctor, a psychologist, a psychiatrist specifically, diagnoses it? It's wild. Okay, we're going to continue. One interesting tidbit is the Urdanettas claim that McMillan said about trying to find investors to purchase the company. This was completely absent in McMillan's filed complaint. Interesting. In 2023, McMillan began telling market partners that the company is in trouble and that he was trying to find investors to save the company. He told other market partners that Monat had investors lined up to buy the company. This is notable because Monat is a privately held family business, and McMillan was never asked to find investors. Nevertheless, McMillan surreptitiously traveled to Tampa. I read that one pretty well, that word. I read that pretty well. Florida and Puerto Rico to meet with potential investors without any the knowledge of the Urdanettas or the approval of the board. That was written weird, but you know what I mean. Notably, the company was not in financial trouble. In hindsight, it appears that this was little more than further attempts by McMillan to orchestrate his exit and take as many people with him as possible. The Urdanettas acknowledging Monat's 3 years of plummeting losses and sales declines, but also complaining no financial trouble is odd. Yes. It is odd, isn't it? Even odder is the Urdanettas claiming McMillan was bringing them buyers, which they apparently met with, whilst complaining they never asked McMillan to find buyers. Ayo! It's just, they're all a bunch of wackos. All of them are a bunch of wackos. But this is my favorite kind of thing to read. This is my favorite kind of thing to talk about. Bunch of wackos being wackos to each other. It's the best. During the second quarter of 2023, McMillan began leaking confidential information to Monat's highest-ranking market partners about a potential sale of Monat to another direct sales company. I'm sorry, I keep yawning. The idea of having to wake up at 4 a.m., I think, is punching me in the face right now. McMillan's loose lips are surprising, given that he was the one bringing potential buyers to Urdanettas, even though they never asked him to. Because the Urdanettas were not planning to sell Monat, the discussions with these potential buyers did not progress far, and no letter of intent was ever signed. Regardless of how the discussions turned out, why would you meet with potential buyers in the first place if you had no intentions of selling? And apparently, not just with one buyer, but multiple buyers. Surely, any misconception would have been addressed when McMillan brought the first allegedly unsolicited buyer to the Urdanettas. Next, okay, so if you see the green, it's from the lawsuit. I should have said this earlier. The white with black writing is Oz, who's currently writing this. I think that's Oz. It's the person who writes this. And what he's pretty much doing here is, pointing out the obvious falsehoods in in the countersuit, and it's ridiculous. I do think that if I had to choose a lawsuit that was more possible, I would choose Stewart's. So, Shelby, member for 16 months, late again. That's okay. We're glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you're here. JJ, you're making me sleepy. I'm making you sleepy. I'm sorry. Is it my yawning, or is it my me? Probably my yawning, but who knows. Next, the Urdanettas addressed McMillan's alleged corporate character. During these years, McMillan's professional judgment also seemed increasingly impaired. Stop yawning, JulieJo. Oh! Market partners began telling the Urdanettas things about McMillan's conduct. Trying not to yawn. At company events and elsewhere that raised questions about his ability to effectively manage the company, lead the field, and demonstrate Monat's core values. For example, McMillan misdialed one market partner's cell phone and told her out of the blue that everything would be okay when Monat got back into the green. That is such an odd remark, isn't it? Whatever. When it became evident to McMillan that he had called the wrong person, he abruptly ended the call. Others communicated to Monat that McMillan had directly told him that Monat was going under or that they should get a second income. Oh, he said, she said is right. What the hell is this? As a result, numerous market partners reported that the field was confused and that morale had substantially fallen. McMillan progressively earned a reputation for spreading rumors and fueling fights between market partners. He regularly stirred the pot with his fellow executives, sowing distrust between them. He bragged about causing infighting, explaining that he thought creating rivals among market partners and executives would help spur competition. Now, that I do agree. I bet that is true. But, of course, I don't know if they're going to be able to prove anything. More than once, McMillan became inappropriately inebriated at a company event or dinner and then proceeded to disclose not only the company's confidential information, but the private information of third parties, including high-level market partners. Well, that's not good if they can prove that. In the presence of other market partners, McMillan gossiped about made fun of many Monat's most respected market partners behind their backs, including comments about their physical appearance. Okay, but Ray Urdaneta and the other guy, L Urdaneta, I'm sure they've done that too. Let's be real. Let's stop with this petty bullshit. Really, yeah, sure, that's an asshole move, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't not pay him don't pay him. I don't mind. But also, that's not a reason. The judge is not going to say, okay, because he made fun of their physical appearance, you don't have to pay him. That's ridiculous. It's so wild. Okay. Market partners had previously held him in high esteem, no longer believed him to be the role model he presented on Monat's event stage, and they left these events embarrassed for McMillan. Did they? How do you know? In short, in addition to leaking Monat's confidential information before and after his termination from Monat, McMillan was spreading rumors about Monat, including but not limited to that Monat was financially unsound. Well, it was. Okay, is that a rumor or is it true? Let's be real. That Monat was being sued by its former chief scientist. Was that true? Who knows? That the Urdanettas were engaged in appropriate financial transactions with Monat. But maybe that's true. Here's the deal. They're saying this stuff. It's but is it true? Maybe. That Monat's product formulas have been changed, were watered down, or were unsafe. Well, that's not wrong, in my opinion. The market partners were planning to leave. Well, yeah, and I'm sure some were. That the Urdanettas had decided to sell Monat. We don't know that. And that regulators were investigating Monat. McMillan also spread rumors to hurt the relationship between market partners, both cross-line and down-line. Okay. This, the Urdanettas claim, led to McMillan's termination on June 29, 2023. By June 2023, it was clear that McMillan needed to be terminated to protect Monat and its market partners. On June 28, 2023, Ray met with McMillan over breakfast to tell him that he was being terminated. Hey, you want to go for brunch? Yeah. Oh, by the way, you're fired. So Ray sent McMillan a notice stating, as required in Section 6 of the amended and restated profit-sharing, confidentiality, non-compete, non-poach, and bonus opportunity agreement entered into on October 1st, 2019, we have Their mutual agreement determined that you will be stepping down as president of Monat Global effective July 31st, 2023. So they said, you will be stepping down. And he said, okay. Perhaps to avoid the public humiliation and shame of his termination, McMillan has since told others that he was not terminated, but he resigned. Well, they essentially let him resign. They essentially said, you're resigning. Like, stepping down doesn't mean you're fired. It means you stepped down. You made the action. Now, if you're forced to or not, doesn't matter. You did it. So for them to say we terminated him is not, in my opinion, factually correct, because he stepped down whether you forced him to or not. He still resigned. You can be forced to resign, and they can't say they terminated you because you still resigned. Hannah said that Erdonetta's really said snitches get stitches. I mean, lawsuits. It's true. In short, that was not short. Right. Misdialed. Are we back in the 80s or something? They should be made to wear princess dresses to court and speak in high squeaky voices. Ooh. Just a little tidbit of info? No, you said she was yucky, this lawsuit. Yeah. There was no firing because he could have gotten unemployment or a severance or something, right? No idea, Hannah. Maybe. But the thing is, they did not terminate him. He resigned. Whether they forced him to resign or not, he still resigned. McMillan's public statements, however, are directly contradicted by his private communications with Monat, in which he has unambiguously acknowledged his termination, requesting such things as monthly advances of his post-termination profit sharing in lieu of severance that Monat pays to terminated employees. Contrary to any assertion otherwise, McMillan's termination has been well documented by Monat. Well, then show us. Yeehaw. Monat believed and continues to believe that it was reasonable to ask McMillan to stay out of the direct sales and to leave Monat, its employees, and its market partners undisturbed and undistracted in exchange for the substantial rumination it agreed to in the non-compete. Unfortunately, McMillan has refused to go quietly. Instead, he has continued to inflict damage on Monat and its market partners in the name of getting more than he is entitled to, and out of spite because of his painful termination. They are so petty. Specific examples of McMillan's inflicting damage onto Monat include claims about commission cutting and tampering, as well as product adulteration. Immediately after being terminated, McMillan began telling some market partners that not only had he resigned, but he had... Oh, I'm so sorry. Y'all, I'm so sorry. But he had also done so out of the protest of the Erdonetta's decision to cut commissions, which he said violated his ethics. This was nonsense, and McMillan knew it. Monat uses InfoTrax, the gold standard of commissions processing platforms. Any improper modification of commissions for one market partner would affect all market partners and create an audit log of the change. The reason for experiencing a decrease in commissions is simple. Decreased sales volume leads to decreased revenue, which leads to decreased commissions. It is simple math. Okay, thank you. We get it. Unfortunately, McMillan had led numerous market partners off the cliff. Okay, spinning a yarn that somehow Monat is tampering with individual market partners' commissions, even though he knows that is not possible. He, once again, is exploiting whatever remaining credibility he may have due to his previous position at Monat and the lack of knowledge regarding how commissions are processed to mislead and harm unsuspecting market partners. Oh, God, I'm so tired of reading this, y'all. I'm not going to lie. We're getting to the cult, though. We're getting to the cult part, which is what I want to read. Okay, I'm skipping that. Directly addressing McMillan's claims that the Erdonettas are a mafia family running Monat as a cult, the Erdonettas right. McMillan has told market partners that the reason the company is not profitable is because the family can't stop spending money. To others, he has implied that the Erdonettas are buying expensive cars and sailing on yachts with the company money while discussing the layoff of Monat employees. McMillan knew that these types of scandalous statements were untrue, but he made them anyway. He knows that Monat's financials are audited by one of the top 10 accounting firms in the world, BDO. He sat on Monat's audit committee for years, attended BDO's presentations of their audits, and had complete access to Monat's financials. But also, let's be real, like, even though they have the top 10, one of the top 10 audit companies, whatever, that doesn't mean they can't do shit under the table. Like, that doesn't mean they can't get away with stuff. People get away with stuff all the time like that. If there were any financial irregularity or impropriety, it would have been reflected in BDO's audit of Monat's financials. Above and beyond this point, McMillan's statements defy logic. Do they? The Erdonettas are entitled to distributions from the company because it belongs to them. It is surprising that McMillan would make these false claims when it was McMillan's uncontrolled expenses that resulted in most of Monat's historical losses. Okay. If there were problems with Monat's expenses, they arose from McMillan's mismanagement, not that Erdenet is spending their own money. Oh, did you hear how they put it? Not that Erdenet is spending their own money. But no. The thing is, your own money does not come from like Monat itself. The Erdenetas, they own money, okay? They're the CEO, they whatever. But there's also like ethical employment. And if you're taking money that that was not supposed to be yours, you're doing something wrong. I mean, this is just like in general wrong. Misappropriation of funds. Thank y'all for making me sound smarter than I am. Tax fraud. Yes, thank you, Tracy by Codes. Charlene said, you can pass an audit and still be shady as long as you enter the transactions the right way. Also, if it's off the books, it won't get audited, right? Nor. If my company, it's my company. Money mine. Duh. It's just so wild. It's like, not the Erdenet spending their own money. Okay, Ray, sit the F down. Regarding McMillan's Tampa Bay Faith event, which he claims was unrelated to Monat, and that the Erdenet sabotaged, the Erdenet is right. That he organized an event. Several senior executives, the highest level and independent, appeared in social media posts inviting people to attend. Okay, so Monat asked McMillan about the event and reminded him of his non-compete and non-soliciting obligations. The Erdenet pointed out that the event appeared to be sponsored by Monat due to the participation of many high-level Monat market partners. But you can't be sponsored by Monat just because you simply see people going who are from Monat and who are high level. That's just not true. I mean, the Erdenet pointed out that the event appeared to be sponsored by Monat due to participation of many high-level Monat market partners. So? Just because basketball players, high-level basketball players, go to someone else's basketball game, right? Like let's say Miami Heat goes to watch Houston play. I don't know. Is that right? Right? Professional basketball players from one team go to another's to watch them play. Doesn't mean they're sponsored by it. Doesn't mean that the Heat sponsors them. That's wild. That's insane to say. That who wrote this? Is it just me? Am I just being weird? Isn't that weird? That's hearsay. It's just wrong. Like the way this is written is just weird. I do not support Stuart McMillan in any way, shape, or form, but his is written 10 times better. McMillan feigned ignorance, saying that the event was a faith event that had nothing to do with money, even though the invitation for the event displayed only high-level Monat market partners. What? You mean speaking there? That's weird. After Monations, the Erdenetas told McMillan that other high-level market partners were asking about his Tampa event. Okay, McMillan admitted that the event was confusing the field and promised that he would cancel it. I bet he did not. What? Prove it. Prove it. Afterwards, a few of the market partners featured on the invitation told Monat that McMillan had used their pictures without their consent and that they were not interested in attending the type of event. Interesting point. Okay, we're at the end. And finally, we have the money side of things and the signed non-compete. I don't care. Okay, it's not very long. All this reading's making me tired after I ate a big dinner. McMillan has told Monat that the best way to get McMillan to go away is for Monat to pay him. Fair enough. Shockingly, Monat has learned that prior to his termination, McMillan has expressly indicated that he planned to start or join a competing direct sales company business and to find a home for Monat's employees and market partners. Proof. McMillan has suggested that his actions are justified because he disputes the calculations of the tail period commissions Monat agreed to pay him. As the non-compete makes abundantly clear, however, if there were questions regarding the enforceability of the terms of the non-compete, he specifically agreed that he would fully comply with the agreement unless and until the entry of an award to the contrary. That has not happened, but McMillan is patiently breaching his obligations to Monat. Okay, the Erdenetas claim they didn't terminate McMillan for cause because of Ray Erdeneta's longtime and close personal relationship with McMillan, a desire to move on without grudges or lawsuits, and to allow McMillan to save face. The Hernandez claim, in hindsight, the McMillans should have been terminated at cause. Causes of action the Hernandez have brought against McMillan and their counterclaim include breach of contract, breach of fiduciary duty, and tortious interference with existing and prospective contracts. In addition to the counterclaim, the Monat and Hernandez also filed a motion to partially dismiss McMillan's amended complaint on May 23rd. An initial case management conference has been scheduled for July 29th. Okay. There's that. Now, I'm going to stop talking so much and we're going to watch Jay's next video because I'm tired. They used a Fiverr attorney. Here's the deal. Who wrote that? They better have a lot of shit to show for everything that they're saying.
Happy Father's Day weekend to all the amazing fathers out there. It has a great deal of significance to me because I had a really, really great father, my stepdad, and he was one of the most significant people in my life. And I came into this whole fatherhood thing early when I was almost 40. Tony and I had reconnected. We were friends in high school, and we reconnected later on in life. And Catherine, our youngest, was my 40th birthday present, which was really cool. And I thought that I never wanted a family, and I thought that I never wanted to have kids. And then, Tony had Naomi, and she was 8 at the time. I adopted her when she turned 18. And my family, this means everything to me. The girls are incredible, Tony's incredible, and my family of friends as well. So one of the things that's really been important to me over the years was male mentorship. There were some really significant people, men, in my life. I mentioned my stepdad. And one of the
Harper said the thing about the attorney. Hey, Harper. Oh, that's funny. No. Hey, Harper. Glad that you're here.
other amazing male mentors that I had in my life, and I know a lot of you had in your life over the past 10 years, was Stuart McMillan. For years and years, he was the heart and soul of Monat. And he was really impactful with me getting involved in the business with Tony. I never really thought that I wanted to do this.
Taylor, I'm holding back, but that's funny. That's funny.
With her. And then once we started working on together, it was because of him. He brought me into this. And all his events that he came to of ours and everything that he did for everybody just really, it was so, not just impactful, but he's just such a wise guy. And one of the things...
Are we talking about the same Stuart that matched his email with this anonymous Instagram and then started shit posting all over anti-MLM as the wise guy? That's that Stuart. That's the same Stuart. Let's just say I don't think he's a wise guy. Okay?
Things that's just really made me really disgusted over the past couple of months is how all those other people that he helped, how quickly they threw him under the bus. Oh, and there's some very specific people that
Jay's pissed.
did it.
Ooh, Jay's pissed. I love seeing Jay pissed. Look at him. You know what I mean? The fingers. It's the fingers.
And it's just kind of shocking to me after he went to their houses for their events, after he traveled all around the world for them, that they were so quick to just cast him aside. Now, I should say, like I always say, these thoughts and these things I'm about to say are my opinion. They may or may not be true, but they're my opinion.
Okay.
And I'm not presenting them as fact. With that said, I was in the SED chat the day that Stuart's lawsuit dropped. And the spew that came out of all of them was nauseating against Stuart. Every one of those people he helped. Jessica Shoney, I'm thinking about you right now.
Call him out, Jay! Call him out, Jay. Hold on, I gotta rewind that. Is he calling someone out? Let's hear it again. I'm pretty sure he is.
Every one of those people he helped. Jessica Shoney, I'm thinking about you right now. You were the very first one to, I'm so disappointed.
Jay's naming names, babes. Jay's naming names. Jessica Shoney, name written down. She's on my list. You don't want to make my list. I need a pencil or a pen. Here we go. Jessica Shoney. Jessica. I love a good name call out. Oh, hell yeah.
I had my doubts. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Y'all were just following the herd, trying to get Venezuelan brownie points, and you know it. And it just blows my mind how someone that could do so much is so quickly cast aside. Think about all the Monations that y'all ever went to. Think about any event that you ever went to. Think about anything that Stuart was at. He wasn't over behind the velvet rope.
Okay, here's the deal. I think what Jay doesn't understand is just because you like someone, it doesn't mean that everyone likes them. Just because someone helps me with something doesn't mean just because someone helps me with something business-wise doesn't mean I have to like them. Oh shit, the Venezuelan brownie points. Slip that racism in too. Oh yeah, Jay, right? He's laying on thick. He is laying on thick as hell. But he's so mad for Stuart, but it's like, but why? Why are you mad for Stuart? What does he do for you? Also, so just because you like him doesn't mean I have to. Weird.
Waiting for you to come over and see him and genuflect and bend the knee. He was out there working the crowd, making sure that everybody felt included. That's what a leader does.
Making sure everyone felt included. Did they, though? Do you know that? You don't know that everyone felt included. And if he did comment negatively on someone's physical appearance and make them feel bad, as was in the counterclaim, doesn't mean it's true, but it could possibly be true because we messed with Stuart the anti-MLM world and he does that shit. Do you really want to back that up, Jay? Listen, I love a name call out. I love pissed off Jay, but you don't want pissed off JulieJo either. So Jay's got this, like, I don't know. He's trying to paint Stuart as a victim. Stuart's not a victim. Stuart has said some horrible shit about people that I've seen with my two eyes. It's just honestly, he has. And it's been covered in plenty of YouTube videos. Stuart McMillan, I've covered him too. But it's like he can do no wrong in their eyes. Well, why? Because I think they're all in his cult, if I'm being very honest. Like, in Stuart's cult, but, whatever.
That's what anybody does with the team from Michigan.
Michigan.
Go Blue.
Go Blue!
Bo Schembechler. Famous football coach.
Okay.
It's about the team, the team, the team. It's not about Rolls Royce, Bo, look at me and my Fendi. It's not about that at all. It's about what you can bring to the table and how you can include people and how.
If it's not about that, if it's not about the money, right? He's saying it's not about the optics, it's not about, then why is Stuart just simply suing for $8 to $16 million? I don't get that. If it's not about the money, then why is he suing just for the money? That's what he wants. He's like, you give it to me, I'm done. He doesn't actually care. Here's the deal. This is what I've gotten from reading those lawsuits. Stuart doesn't care about the people. Not even a little fucking bit. Not even the tiniest little bit ever. He cares about the money. He said, you pay me, we're good. If you pay me, we're good. But they haven't paid him, so they're not good. So he's going to act all holier than thou and shit all over the Erdnettas, which, by the way, you do, you Stu. I'm right there with you. Crap all over him. Amen. But why is it, if you pay me, then we're good? Then it's not about the people. It's not about the people of Monat. You don't actually care about them. You care about the monies, which we're not surprised, are we? No, we're not.
How you make them feel about themselves and how you can inspire them. That's what a leader does.
Right, Jay?
So on this weekend of, Father's Day weekend and thinking about my mentors and what has been impactful for me, that's what I've been thinking about. I've been thinking about everything that's happened to him and how unfair that is. And I just can't wait for all the truth to come out, because that's what makes all these videos so easy. And that's what makes talking about this all so easy, is that it's the truth. I don't script any of this.
Maybe you should.
It's the truth. You never have to worry about what you're saying if it's always the truth.
Maybe scripting isn't bad. What the hell? Scripting is smart. Of course, I'm a video creator, so I script some certain videos. Now, my reaction videos I don't normally script, but I mean, some videos I have to script. So it's probably a good idea, honestly, to make talking points before you come on live. Okay.
Something else very impactful has happened over the last couple of weeks is there's been a lot of people reaching out, thanking me for doing these videos. And you're welcome. I thank you for your support.
You're welcome.
But this notion somehow that Tony and I have turned against the company and all that's bullshit. The company turned against us. The company turned against us a long time ago. They didn't want Tony in leadership. They didn't want, the Urdanettas didn't want Tony around. And they made it very clear.
Oh, did they?
So the first opportunity they had, this is what happens. And all that will unfold. Lawsuits and things and stuff. Yeah. But the other thing that's really been surprising to me, well, I shouldn't say it's surprising, because liars never really surprise me.
Oh.
Most liars lie out of fear, right? Yeah. And all of these leaders and directors in Monat right now talking about this visionary founders pool like it's all some sort of second coming of whatever. Holy praise God. So fucking far from the truth. Oops. I said fuck. I'm sorry.
You said it again.
Told me not to swear. But you know,
said it again.
The whole thing is just mind-blowing and boggling to me. How much they're lying about what it is. And my favorite lie that I saw recently, now this shows you how serious I was about this. I actually printed out the lie. I don't usually do that.
Okay, it's official. I love Jay. I love Jay. I love it. And let me be clear. I don't like Jay at all. But I really love the name dropping and the fact that he printed out this gosh dang text message. He printed it out to show us. Not even printing text. I think that is my favorite thing. Listen, I don't like him, but I love him.
This lie was from former corporate employee. Now, I don't actually know if she has the titles, maybe MM. I don't think she's a director. Natalie, I might botch this name, I'm sorry. Natalie Richardson, I think is how you pronounce that. So her math on this is regarding the new founders pool.
Okay.
The best breakdown I've seen is blah, 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 blah. Saying that the shares were going to be 30,000 each per quarter. And even more when they get to $1 billion. That gave me chills. Did that give you chills? Monat's never been $1 billion company. The most it ever did was $800 million. Right now, it's barely a $300 million company.
Barely.
In fact, on one of the early director calls this year, when they said that they had paid out $40 million in commissions, if you do the math on that, that makes Monat maybe a little over a $200 million company. Sucks to be them, huh? But no, that's not even close to what it is. It's 1% commissionable volume or revenue, however you want to word it. Look at the legacy founder shares. Look at them. It's the same pool. A 1% CV pool and a 1% CV pool.
I need him to call out more people.
The legacy founder shares pay out roughly $5,000 a piece.
Okay, this is so good. Charcity Gaming says, lie in the bed you have made, sir. Amen. They've all made their own beds. Now they're having to lay in them. Stuart, Jay, and Tony, They're already at us. You made your beds. Now take a little nippy nap in them, okay? You're going to have to deal with it now.
And that's with 53 remaining legacy founders in that pool. Think about that for a second. They're down, I think there was 100 at one time. 53 legacy founders are still in the pool. That means almost 50 of the people quit or were terminated, right? But this math, Natalie, that ain't mathin'. That's not math. That's conspiracy.
Natalie, you just pissed off Jay.
That's fraud.
That's conspiracy is coming from sovereign citizens. Hey, I need some water. Thanks, baby. I need some water. Hey, can you bring me Finley? I think we need a little pepperoni moment. Anyone else feeling a pepperoni moment? I'm going to rewind his just a little bit so that we can LOL. Phoebe! Come on. Phoebe! Phoebe, can you? Phoebe! Can you? Oh, look at my baby. Look, I got a Phoebe. What you thinking? What you thinking? They need to get dental cleaning soon. Oh, hey, Floofy Woofy. Hi, baby. She's so sweet. Pepperoni's in my lap, passed out asleep right now. Oh my god, I'm so jealous. I need to have a family cuddle soon. Hi. Like I need to read it and have her on my lap. Give her kisses on her nosy. Come here. I can't reach her nose right now, but I gave her kisses for y'all. Hi, Billy. Everyone says hi. What are you thinking? Oh, you hear Dad? Look how much she loves him. Look at her. Is that your dad? Oh, they left. You want to take her? Okay, we had our little family moment. I love you, baby. She did not like that. The grabbing and putting down. Okay, let's continue.
That's not math. That's conspiracy.
Ooh.
That's fraud.
Fraud.
That's an FTC violation.
First off, I love that he's saying this because it's true. But also, him and Tony, like I just said, are sovereign citizens. They're big conspiracy theorists, and I love that he's like, that's conspiracy. I'm like, bro, you don't even know what that is.
That's an income claim that your Buckeye ass cannot back up.
That your Buckeye ass cannot back up. Did y'all hear that? What does that even mean? That your Buckeye ass cannot back up. Also, yeah, it's an income claim, but it's in the group. Like, it's not public, you know? Okay.
It's not what anybody is saying that it is. It's just a 1% commissionable volume pool. Those shares are going to be worth the same that the legacy shares are worth.
It's from Ohio.
Because you got a 1% pool over here, you got a 1% pool over here. So whatever this legacy founders group is.
I guess she's from Ohio because he's Michigan. It's a rival of the university. I knew the Buckeyes, but I didn't realize like he was making that comparison. That's interesting. She must be from Ohio.
It's a great barometer for what this is going to be per share. Now at 53 people, and they're each making, I think our last payout was $5,300 per share.
It's pretty good.
It's not ever going to be 30,000 a share. That's a complete and total lie, and you all know it. All the directors, all the leaders that are putting this out there, I feel horrible for their team because that's not what it is. And the legacy founders have 53 people that are in it. This new visionary founders pool is designed to get that middle rank in there. You're getting all your MMs in there, right? How many people are going to be in the pool? If you're saying that there's only going to be 100 people in the pool, that means that you're already saying the company is going down the tubes and you can only come up with 100 people for the pool, right? What's the logic in that? It's like the same thing as what was the logic in when they're rolling out the program that you have Ray and Luis pull up to someone's house in their leased Rolls Royces. That really sends a great message, doesn't it? And then the other day, Ray's at the distribution center and he's talking about the importance of the founders pool while he announces a flash sale. Think about the illogical intent of that, right? That flash sale disrupts the commissionable revenue and volume going into the pool. So you're announcing another flash sale for people not to get paid on and revenue that ain't going to the founders pool. How fucking stupid is that? That's just illogical. And then all the other times that this message from the company has just been eroded with things that are illogical. Ever since Stewart left, there's just been this black hole of.
I think that him talking about Stuart like this is kind of solidifying some of the things that Erdonetas are saying. I'm not gonna lie.
Nothingness. And I feel bad for everybody that's there.
Sounds like a
I
bitter
really
act.
do. A lot of them, some of them, a lot-ish, I can still consider friends, but it's mind-boggling to me, the ineptitude that goes into this mismessaging. It's horrible. And then trying to explain it away that somehow we don't know what we're doing. Let's go to another. Oh, and by the way,
Call him
when
out.
y'all say this stuff online in your chats and Telegram, do you really think that everyone's not going to see it? I mean, there's this thing these days that, I mean, it's going to blow your mind. I call it the internet. You can pretty much find anything on there, right?
Oh my God, Jay's such a vibe right now. Oh, I encompass this Jay vibe so much. Me too, Jay. Right now, there's things such as internet. Same. Oh Lord, I never thought I would have the Jay vibe, but I'm feeling it.
So, still shaking my head with this one.
Right, Demi. I agree, Demi.
I might botch this name again too. I think this is Anne Fisher.
Let's go.
Maybe?
Let me just say the two names he said he's botched are like easy to read. Richardson and Fisher. Okay, just a little low blow for me. But second, the name, we're saying names and it's making my life. This is the best. I'm so glad he's calling these people's names out, and he is all in too. He is peeved.
As far as the visionary founders pool, they must not know what they are talking about, which is understandable since none of them are with Monat any longer. Huh? The FAQs are out there in the wild. Anybody can find them and read.
Okay, but you just did a video that we watched at the beginning of this live, Jay, saying that you've been with them for 10 months and you still don't know how it works. So you can't just be like, when she's like, they don't know how it works because they're not with Monat anymore. Well, you said it first, Jay. I'm just saying.
Read them. Apparently none of y'all have.
Oh.
Apparently y'all have been doing your butter recipes and stuff and haven't given a shit about what the actual truth is.
Oh, shit.
And I feel sorry for your teams, and I feel sorry for the people under you. I feel really bad for everyone that keeps sending us messages. You know, what the hell's going on? What is actually going on? I don't know. It feels like they're trying to intentionally blow up the company, to me. And to that end,
Angie.
another thing has happened over the past couple of weeks. I've been in touch with a couple of amazing people. The first one is Angelique. I'm going to put her.
I'm just going to keep going and not say another word. I'm not going to talk about that.
Instagram in the comments because she's been fantastic. Angelique, I'm going to butcher your last name. I apologize. Angelique left Monat a few years ago. She got thrown under the bus, and I think for her friendship. I'm really. Chelsea's done a lot of videos that you might not think that I would like. Some of them. I think for her friendship. I'm really glad that we connected. And also the other one too that I really want to point out right now is Cece Suarez. Chelsea's done.
What is going on? What is happening? I find that so hypocritically funny because a lot of the videos that she's done, Angelique, that name rings a bell. Yeah, it does. A lot of the things that Chelsea's covered includes like Tony in them too. But now that they're out, it's fine. Now that they're out, her videos are fine. Okay. What the hell is happening?
On a lot of videos that you might not think that I would like. Some of them, you know, it is what it is.
Uh-huh.
But you can find her on Instagram, find her on YouTube, watch her videos. She did a great deep dive into all the founders pools, and it's a fantastic video. And you might question why I would become friends with the anti-MLM people. It's not that. It's not about the anti. Whenever you're anti something, you're usually trying to find the truth. And isn't that what we all want? Isn't, at the end of the day, don't we all just want to know the truth?
Oh my God. What is happening? I actually could cry. I'm not going to let myself cry. But holy shit. No shit, Jay. Shelby, breathe. No, this is BS. He's being manipulative because he sees the truth and he's still like, but we're going to Amare. No, you don't get to do this, Jay. I'm not letting Jay do this. You don't get to come on here and say, when you're anti something, backing up anti-MLM, you're looking for the truth. Yeah, Jay, no shit. And yet, you're still in an MLM. You're still fine with it. But when it fits your narrative, you're going to push our narrative. You're going to push what we're saying. You're going to push our videos when it fits your narrative. I bet his opinion will change when Chelsea does a video of them with Amare. Well, yeah, it will. And don't get me wrong. Love when someone who's been in an MLM before is like, yeah, you know what? These videos are actually pretty good. But, and I said fits our or talked about our narrative, but we don't really have a narrative other than here's the facts and breaking down like bullshit. But excuse me if I'm a little peeved that Jay's over here is like, you know, and it's not about the anti, you know, when you're anti, you're just searching for the truth. So we're not bullies. We're not these negative Nancys. We're not these horrible people that want to destroy lives. Anti-MLM, but only if the MLM is money. Right, Ove. It's just, you know, it's just a bunch of bullshit. That's what it is. That's wild. Like, insane to me. Okay, I'm gonna press play. This is like with Angelique went anti-MLM, she was actually just anti-Monat. Yeah, absolutely. If Amare wasn't really the worst, this would feel better. Right. Right, Amanda Bailey. We're not haters? Exactly. That just pissed me off, not gonna lie. Well, and here's the reasons. People are like, wow, Julie might be overreacting. But I don't think people know what I've been through as an anti-MLM creator and like the actual harassment that I have had to go up against and the horrible things that have been said to me for the past 3 years that I've been doing it. I don't think people understand what a lot of us go through, especially if you're like on TikTok or on YouTube and Instagram. I mean, honestly, all social media platforms, but specifically those. And honestly, even from people who are anti-MLM as well, just because they simply don't like you. But mostly from MLM people. I don't think people understand the bullshit we've had to push through and experience and continue to stand and say, no, it's still wrong. You can call me a hater. You can make me the bad guy, but I don't care because it's still wrong. And then they get, you know, their little people to come and it's awful. I've had to use my lawyer and everything before, like for harassment. And then particularly when I was in school for ultrasound, someone specifically was trying to call my school and get me kicked out. Like specifically trying to ruin my future career. So, you know, when people say things like he's saying, and I get pissed off, it's just the truth. I'm pissed. And I feel very validated in being pissed because they don't get it. They're the ones that have caused us so much pain by, what has he said? Trying to find the truth. 211 watching, only 93 likes. Live chat. Thank you, Fuffy Duck Butt. I love that name. Please like the video. You never go real life ever. No. Keep in mind, y'all only saw some of it. Right. You've only seen the teeny tiniest little bitty bits. I agree, JJ. I've seen it firsthand. Being a mod, it's fucking horrible. Ugh. But anyway, let me put it this way. I agree with everything that I've said, but I also think it's not horrible that he's calling people out and saying names like CC Suarez, so that maybe they'll fall into the anti-MLM video hole and continue to watch, and then one day realize, like, okay, this is bad and maybe I shouldn't do it at all. I think there's a positive to that. And so, it's this like, yeah, sure, good, let them watch, but also I'm not going to let you use this for your gain without calling you out.
Isn't that what all this is about? Is where's the truth? What are we actually saying? If you're going to say that, all these things are going to happen, you need to prove it, right? ISO 9000. If you've ever done a quality assurance or quality management project or program or anything, you know that ISO 9000 is about doing what you say, right? It's the backbone of engineering and any business. If you're going to do quality audits, you need to prove that you're doing what you said you're going to do in your quality program and in your quality assurance program. And that's what all this is about, holding people accountable for what they're saying. And right now, a few of us, thank God, are trying to hold Monat accountable for all the lies and all the bullshit that's going on right now. And another person that I want to say kudos to is Kendall. Kendall walked away from everything because Kendall's got a backbone. Kendall realized what's going on. It's her story to tell. I'm not going to say anything other than that, other than love her. She's always been wonderful to Tony and I. Love her husband, Tyler. They have the cutest kids in the world. And I'm just really happy for her and for them that on Father's Day weekend of all times, they're able to rally and go forward. So kudos to Kendall for all of what she's gone through, about to go through. And I just want her to know that I support her and them, and we support her and them no matter what. And so I'm sorry, I'm already at like almost 20 minutes. I need to start writing some of this down. I don't ever script any of these things, so.
He said at the beginning that it's good you don't script so that you can be honest. He was like, I need to start writing stuff down. I know, bruh. So, yeah, I said you should.
See, you're right, Amanda. They claim the comp plan hasn't changed, but it has.
Right, Paris
One
Gray.
of the things that we've become aware of.
Paris Gray said, anti-MLM's been holding y'all accountable for years, but now it matters because you're angry. Get out of here, my guy. Right.
Over the past couple of months with lawyers and things getting involved is, again, my opinion. The policies and procedures have been changed numerous times over the past few years. They were changed in April. They were changed a couple years ago. And one of the changes that they put in the policies and procedures, what they did, all this is legal. All of this is being reviewed. All of this is just so highly unethical. You don't value
Well, no shit. No shit, Sherlock.
your field enough to tell them the truth. You don't value the field to tell them that you're changing things. It just goes back to that velvet rope that they've always sat behind. Every event that I was ever at, all the elite trips that I was on, all the everything I was ever on, they just distanced themselves from everyone, expecting everyone to come to them like royalty, right? That's not the way this is supposed to be. That's not the way. Where's
Hannah? Surprise, Jay. Legal doesn't mean moral. It's true.
their gratitude? There's something else we all want to talk about one of these days is the gratitude stuff. What What is that? What sort of mental malfunction do you have to expect everyone to come to you? You should be going to them. They're the ones that are paying for your leased Rolls Royce. Those are the ones that are paying for the boat that no one knows where the bathrooms are at. That's what you do. And that's what Stewart always did. That was the great thing about that guy, was he always made everyone feel included. And as more of this comes out from his lawsuit, I just pray that he has some sort of closure on this, because it really is upsetting to see what the main person that was the backbone of the company, it just sucks to see what he's been through. Right, Amanda? Thank you for pointing
Tanya said he's so close, but thousands of yards away. You're right.
that out. You're an insurance broker. You get a detailed commission reporting. So I want to show you guys something. That's a lot.
Oh, Jay, I don't care. There's just a couple minutes left. I'm done. I'm now emotionally exhausted from all of this tonight. I think I'm done. I guess we should read Tony's. Hold on. Let me look at Tony's. Oh, Jesus. Okay, not very long. Not very long. Not horribly long. Okay. We'll look at Tony's lawsuit. So, Monat founding distributor lawsuit claims earnings slash 75%. Tony Van Schoik claims she's a founding Monat distributor who owns founding shares. Having been with Monat for more than a decade, Van Schoik also claims that she's worked directly with founders Rayner and Louis Urdaneta and sits atop a large and robust downline. Yeah, well, no shit. After watching her commission drop 75% over 2 years, Van Schoik claims she was terminated in May 2024 for asking questions. Van Schoik originally filed a complaint on June 6th in Florida. An amended complaint, which this article is based on, was filed on June 12th. Named defendants in Van Schoik's amended complaints are Monat Global Corporate founders Rayner and Louis Urdaneta. Speaking further to her role with Monat, Van Schoik's attorney describes her as a mentor and sounding board for an extremely large team of members, which has provided significant income to both her downline partner members as well as Monat as a corporation and Monat's founders, the Urdanetas. Okay. On the earnings side of things, Van Schoik claims she has earned over $100,000 a month between 2015 and 2022. And now everything I said about Jay just really, I feel so validated right now. Anyone else? Did y'all just hear that? Earned over $100,000 a month between 2015 and 2022? Jesus. As of 2024, however, Van Schoik claims her money commissions have dropped to less than a quarter of that sum. Excuse me, if I don't feel shit bad at all for you, okay? Not even a little. Van Schoik doesn't provide a dollar amount, but does state since 2022 that her annual commission rate is less than what she used to earn in 2 months. Van Schoik claims that Monat and the Urdanetas have failed to provide her with a reasonable explanation. Van Schoik avers that the Urdanetas, alongside other Monat corporate employees, have not been forthcoming about the continually changing commissions structures for payouts from Monat as a global corporation, and that the company as a whole has allowed its product to become substandard. I'll show you a large and robust downline. I needed that little giggle. Okay. Van Schoik has been previously included in telephone meetings face-to-face meetings where she has raised her concerns directly to Urdanetas and has not received truthful answers to the commission underpayment and corporate governance questions raised. Van Schoik has been told by Monat's corporate compliance team and the Urdanetas specifically that her questions regarding payment and commission would be answered and resolved, but to the date, no resolution has been reached. In addition to her own commissions drying up, Van Schoik claims her downline's commissions are also being reduced without explanation. Van Schoik has been barred from events and team phone calls, which causes her team to seek answers from her and about her commitment to the company and their future ability to earn income. Furthermore, plaintiff has been caused to answer innumerable questions by members of her downline group regarding the health of the company, as well as the questions about why the commissions were not being appropriately paid. Attempts to get answers purportedly resulted in Van Schoik being subject to repeated verbal and written warnings of disassociation. Van Schoik has been excluded from the founder's regular calls with leadership. She's been denied a transfer with her business between she and her husband, which she would ordinarily be granted without reservation. She has been warned by Monat agents that any testimony she gives in a concurrent or future legal matters would directly impact her business with Monat. She has been told that her continued ability to work with Monat depends on her willingness to get in line. One reason Van Schoik attributes to her decimated income is downline attrition. Defendants have once Van Schoik began posing questions to Monat and the Erdenettes about commission compensation and endeavored to cast Van Schoik in a negative light through email and disparaging communications with the other team members and the public at large. Doesn't it feel really bad, Tony, for people to shit all over you? It's not great, is it? Van Schoik has lost many downline team members as a result of these false and defamatory statements made by company representatives as well as their Erdenettes. When Van Schoik loses a downline team member, the loss of the revenue cuts into Van Schoik's commissions and causes her to suffer a loss. Oh, boo-hoo, Tony. The false and defamatory communications from the company and the Erdenettes have also caused Van Schoik to lose out on being able to add additional team members, which causes plaintiff to suffer an additional loss of monetary compensation. It's all about the money, y'all. It's always all about the money. Van Schoik further alleges Monat's current commission agreement bears no reasonable resemblance to the published commission agreement she signed. As previously stated, Van Schoik's alleged attempt to get to the bottom of her and her downlines. Sorry. It's fine. Satiated commissions, I don't know, resulted in her termination. Hold on. Okay. Defendants have engaged in the business of smearing Van Schoik's hard-earned reputation because defendants feared that Van Schoik was close to uncovering and revealing that defendants were not paying appropriate compensation, that Van Schoik was powerful enough and has strong enough voice to bring the company's downline team members to question the continued viability of the continued business. The defendants feared this more than anything and engaged in a scheme to discredit Van Schoik in such a way that she would be forced to leave the business in shame so that the defendants could continue to operate unlawfully. As a result of her termination, Van Schoik has had her access to her commissions revoked and her downline team has been absorbed by the defendant Monat, which has unjustly enriched the defendant at the expense of Van Schoik. Van Schoik places Monat's problem squarely at the feet of the Erdenettes. Van Schoik avers that Monat's corporate governance has been compromised by the actions of Erdenettes to a point where the Erdenettes are no longer fit to serve in any corporate capacity for Monat. As a result of the Erdenettes' corporate governance, Van Schoik further claims she has been made aware of additional conversations, which indicates Monat is no longer a viable company with truthful accounting and record-keeping practices. Causes of action raised against Monat and the Erdenettes include breach of contract, specific performance, breach of duty of good faith and fair dealing, and defamation. Hold on, let me see. It's hard to see past this little stupid. Okay, Van Schoik is claiming damages on the defamation count and loss of revenue and income totaling $1.5 million, split $750,000 across both claims. Since her Monat termination, Van Schoik has gone to sign up with Mari Global, an MLM company built around the made up field of mentabiotics. Amen. Made up BS. Van Schoik's lawsuit is the second recent legal action against Monat and the Erdenettes back in April. Okay, we know that happened. McMillan alleges Monat suffered significant loss from 2022. McMillan alleges this in turn results in the Erdenettes increasing revenues at any expense, including cutting commissions to Monat's independent contractor, market partner, and delaying payments to suppliers. In a filed countersuit, the Erdenettes accused McMillan of gross mismanagement. I've added Van Schoik's Monat lawsuit to Behind MLM's calendar. Stay tuned for updates so we continue to track the case. Well, that's a hoot and a half. All right, it's been 2 hours and 8 minutes. This was exhausting in a good way, except that last video from Jay pissed me off. But you know what? It is what it is, and I had fun with y'all. Okay, I'm going to bed. I got to get up early. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will keep up with this stuff. Thank you for being here, and if you haven't seen some of my more recent, newer videos, or if you want to watch some of my older ones, which I'm a little embarrassed by, but you know what? Gotta love growth. You may go do that because I have over 500. Don't forget, please like this video before you go and leave a comment if you want to support me a little bit extra. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you have a great night. See you later.
Stay till the morning light, or would you follow me?